He have all these people pay. Look how much money he got paid. I said, look how much money professional get. Somebody else is dipping in the money. Like that, I think Jake Paul them this. I'm telling you, it's good for boxing for us to go back and look at and say, hey, this thing ain't right. Now these people who not pros, who still taking a chance just like we taking a chance to win because they popular and they get all this money.
Evander Holyfield has exposed Jake Paul for hiding the truth about the Mike Tyson fight. Meanwhile, old remarks from the 58-year-old have resurfaced, with Tyson once stating he would never face off against his younger competitor because of the enormous age difference between the two men. It is one of the most controversial contests in sports history. Moreover, Tyson wasn't always convinced about taking on Paul. Previous remarks from the legendary boxer have just surfaced. Nearly 2 years ago on the Full Send podcast, Iron Mike firmly declared that a fight was out of the question. Tyson said, "My family loves Jake Paul. I would never fight him. Everyone in my family loves this little white bleep. Let him have his reign. Let him have his time. I don't want to fight him, man. I fight real fighters. I fight fighters that hurt, big, strong, scary men. They're the ones that I fight." The precise amount Tyson is being paid to battle Paul, a man 31 years younger than him, is not yet revealed. Back in March, it was predicted that Tyson would probably receive $20 million for his comeback to the ring in an attempt to slow down the years. This winter, Tyson has been putting in a lot of effort at the gym. Paul recently secured a victory over Mike Perry, paving the way for an exciting showdown with Tyson. Mike Tyson's comeback appears unstoppable as his progress continues to impress. Meanwhile, Jake Paul eagerly anticipates the chance to face off against the boxing icon, envisioning a sold-out stadium and savoring the possibility of a victory that could define his career in May. The much-anticipated Tyson-Paul bouts rules were unveiled, with Mike securing his desired outcome. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation officially sanctioned the professional boxing match. Despite Paul's cruiserweight classification, the fight is set as a heavyweight clash featuring 8 rounds, each lasting 2 minutes. Double world champion Timothy Bradley sees a clear edge for Tyson over Paul, believing Tyson's explosive power in the early rounds could overwhelm the young YouTuber, leading to a swift knockout. Bradley said, "I think Tyson is going to knock him out fast. At first, I didn't think so, but when I saw the rules, there was no doubt in my mind. By knockout, I'm sure it will be by knockout. It's only 2 minutes instead of 3. There is no doubt in my mind." He further added, "Think about it. He's going to come out like a whirlwind, like he always has. He's going to corner him. He's going to close him off with his body, and he's going to take him out. He's got everything in his favor to knock Paul out of the game at the drop of a hat. You know that power is the last thing to go, and Tyson has everything in his favor in 2 minutes." Cult icon and boxing Butterbean has called Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's historic showdown a scam that he thinks will never happen. The bout's outcome will hinge on the slightly shorter format, tailored to account for the differences in age and fitness. Tyson may no longer have the endurance of his prime, but his power remains lethal. One well-placed punch could send Paul to the canvas. Despite the years, Tyson's hand speed appears as sharp as ever, judging by the training videos he shared on social media. Despite the 30-year age difference between the two fighters, 58-year-old Tyson has remained out of the competitive ring since 2005, only making a comeback for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. The contest, originally set to be broadcast by Netflix in July, faced an unexpected delay just 2 months after its announcement. The postponement came after Iron Mike experienced a medical scare in May. Even though the duo has pushed the match to November 15th, Butterbean, whose real name is Eric Esch, remains skeptical about whether Tyson and Paul will ever actually face off in the ring. He said, "Him and Tyson are never going to fight. That has been a scam from the very beginning just to boost Jake's name, and it has. This guy, everybody's talking about him, but he's never going to fight Tyson." The former super heavyweight continued by saying that the scam was planned, knowing full well that the bout would never happen. They were never planning on fighting each other because a promoter would never let him fight anyone else in between a fight, he added. referring to Paul's matchup with Mike Perry, which filled the date vacated by Tyson. Butterbean added, "Never. Not that big of a fight. So it's been a scam from the beginning." The former fighter has experience against Paul. In 2022, 5 fights into his career, Butterbean called out Paul. The older man's flirtation with a return to the ring followed a remarkable body transformation nearly a decade after his last bout in 2013. Following Paul's triumph over former UFC fighter Perry at the end of last month, Tyson made it clear that he is resolutely focused on defeating his younger rival. He sent a chilling message to Paul on social media right after the fight, underscoring his determination. He wrote on X, 118 days, 16 weeks and 6 days, 17 weekends, 2, 832 hours, 169, 900 minutes, 10, 152, 000 seconds. The clock starts now. Before Paul defeated Perry, Tyson uploaded a video of himself watching Paul on TV in silence. Next week, Tyson and Paul are scheduled to hold a press conference in advance of their November matchup. Super Bowl Hall of Famer Peyton Manning will make a notable appearance as a special guest at the media gathering on August 18th. This event will be the first encounter between Manning and the press since their originally scheduled meeting was postponed.
I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, see me as an arrogant ass, which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world. And I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out, but at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
Up-and-coming boxing talent Willie Hutchinson, slated to face off against Joshua Buatsi on the undercard of the highly anticipated Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois showdown, is exuding confidence. He credits this to what he views as Paul's limited abilities, which he believes will give him a significant edge in the ring. He said, "Wow, that is still happening? It's terrible, isn't it? The man is 60 years old. I still think he can beat and knock out Jake Paul, even at the age of 60. He isn't worth anything. I think it's a shame, though. Really, it is letting boxing down, and it is making it a bit of a mockery." In 2005, Kevin McBride's decisive win over Tyson signaled the close of Tyson's storied career. By then, Tyson's physical decline was unmistakable. Nearly 20 years on, he remains locked in a battle with lingering health issues, striving to reclaim his former vitality. Now, in a bid to demonstrate his readiness, Tyson has begun sharing training videos, the first since his delayed return to the ring. Paul is at the height of his physical prowess, so it will be challenging to overcome him. Yet he still has bursts of ferocious energy. Hutchinson added, "I mean, what good is that doing or gaining for boxing? But everyone will buy in and watch it. It's Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. They are big names. It's a shame. I don't care how much money you are getting. I wouldn't jeopardize what I've done if I was Mike Tyson just to say I am fighting Jake Paul." Teddy Atlas, the previous trainer of the undefeated champion, believes that this could be enough to win even with the fighter's advanced age and diminishing skills. He said, "You better be aware. Knowing Tyson the way I do, power doesn't disappear when you're old. He's still got speed, combinations. He's still got that style that he was taught to make you miss and create openings for that power." Atlas emphasized that Mike Tyson still possesses the sharp instincts and precision to dodge, outmaneuver, and seize opportunities for a decisive knockout. He firmly dispelled any notions of underhanded tactics or hidden arrangements, highlighting the genuine danger this fight presented for Paul. Despite the inherent risks, Atlas commended Paul's courage for stepping into the ring against such a formidable opponent. He further added, "Tyson's going to come out there, and if you do have an agreement with him, good luck, because I know Tyson. When that bell rings, he might have a short memory about any agreement other than the agreement to put hands on your chin." As per the official regulations, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are set to face off this November in a bout consisting of 8 rounds, each lasting 2 minutes. Despite a 30-year difference in age, Paul has stayed battle-ready, honing his boxing skills against former MMA fighters. Meanwhile, Tyson, once a legend of the ring, is returning after nearly 2 decades of absence. Though there's speculation within the sport that the former undisputed champion could rediscover his peak performance against the considerably younger 27-year-old, Paulie Malignaggi, the ex-champion and current analyst, has raised a red flag. Speaking to ProBox TV, he cautioned that the heavyweight legend might be at considerable risk of injury, casting doubt on his ability to compete without potential setbacks. Malignaggi looked back on the Mike Tyson sensation of the late 80s, recalling the electric excitement that enveloped Tyson during that time. While he's pleased to see Tyson doing well financially, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of sadness at the idea of his former invincible idol facing any harm. Malignaggi also cautioned that Jake Paul is turning out to be a more challenging adversary than many might expect in a different corner of the boxing world. Kevin McBride, who was the last fighter to challenge Mike Tyson in the ring, has issued a stark caution to Jake Paul as the YouTube star-turned-boxer gears up for his November clash with the ex-heavyweight champ. McBride's insights offer a glimpse into the formidable challenge Paul is about to face. Despite Tyson's advancing age, hinting at a possible decline, McBride, now 51, remains unwavering in his belief that the legendary boxer is still a formidable force. McBride, who triumphed over Tyson by technical knockout in their 2005 bout, the last fight of Tyson's professional career, vividly remembers their clash. He reflects on the raw power Tyson commanded even as he neared the twilight of his storied career. "When Tyson hit me, it felt like my head was spinning," McBride recounted in an interview with Instant Casino, describing the intensity of Tyson's punches. He described how, after enduring a brutal blow, he managed to lock Tyson in a headlock and provoke him, further escalating Tyson's rage. According to McBride, Tyson responded by biting him, causing intense pain. This dramatic moment, captured in the fight footage, underscores the unyielding and unpredictable energy Tyson continues to bring to the ring even long after his peak. With this in mind, McBride imparted his wisdom to the 27-year-old Paul, emphasizing the vital importance of a robust defense and the need to remain ever watchful of Tyson's unpredictable behavior. He warned Paul to be particularly cautious if Tyson were to throw away his mouthpiece, a move McBride had learned from experience often heralded an imminent and dangerous attack. Tyson is a fearsome man, even in his 50s. It takes real courage to step into the ring with him, whether you're a seasoned fighter or a YouTuber like Paul, McBride advised. There's been speculation that Paul might have an edge due to Tyson's advanced age, giving the younger fighter a potential advantage. However, McBride firmly disagrees with this notion. He argues that Tyson's strength remains as impactful as ever and could be a decisive factor in the fight. McBride asserts that power is the last trait a fighter loses, and despite his years, Tyson's punch still carries remarkable force. If Tyson connects with just one solid hit, it could be lights out for Paul, McBride suggested, indicating that the younger fighter could find himself in serious trouble if he underestimates Tyson's capability. Moreover, McBride made a suggestion that, should the opportunity arise, he could think about returning to the ring for another fight with Tyson. "If Tyson wins and Paul wants a rematch, I'd be ready to step in again," McBride said. In the event that Tyson or Paul withdrew from the impending bout, he even offered to step in. With the Tyson versus Paul clash on the horizon, McBride's warnings paint a vivid picture of the challenge awaiting Paul.
Much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this. But you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he try to stay back from Mike. He gonna get caught.
Paul and Tyson are set to clash in a professional bout featuring a unique twist: 8 rounds of 2 minutes each and 14-ounce gloves. As the YouTuber turned fighter rakes in substantial earnings from boxing, this match is poised to draw significant attention, despite widespread criticism in the sport over the 30-year age difference. Holyfield cautioned Paul that Tyson remains a formidable opponent. Holyfield further explained that Mike is like a snake, quick to strike. He noted that while Tyson reaches his target quickly, charging at him could smother his movements. Holyfield pointed out that Tyson uses his legs to push forward, making him too close for comfort. However, if given space, everyone who retreats ends up getting knocked out, implying that giving Tyson room could lead to serious trouble. Moreover, Holyfield hesitated to make a definitive prediction, noting that either fighter could face defeat that night. He suggested Paul might falter if Tyson's power proved overwhelming, while Tyson could fall short if he mirrored his last professional performance, a 2005 match against Kevin McBride, where he opted not to rise from his stool between rounds 6 and 7. Holyfield questioned whether Jake Paul could take a strong hit, noting that he had never seen Paul get hit by anyone significant. He suggested that the fight might be over quickly since Paul likely hasn't faced anyone who punches like Mike Tyson. He also recalled how Tyson once quit in the ring, mentioning that Tyson got tired, sat down, and decided he was done. Tyson stands as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, and his triumph in a bout against an opponent 3 decades his junior could signal the end of Paul's aspirations to make a serious mark in boxing. This clash, however, was modified with a set of rules featuring 8 rounds of 2 minutes each and 14-ounce gloves. "I personally don't see it that way," Holyfield said on whether a loss hurts Tyson's legacy. "He's a guy who's fought all his life and chose any reason to fight." He added, "We already know he's not going to be as fast as he was, but if he catches Paul, we know you don't lose your strength. I think he can catch him with his left hand. Above all, Mike knows you don't need to punch a guy in the face all the time." The ex-cruiserweight and heavyweight champion places his faith in Iron Mike's formidable left hook, a weapon that wreaked havoc on opponents' bodies and heads during his swift ascent to greatness. Holyfield highlights the renowned gazelle hook, or gazelle punch, as a formidable technique. This maneuver earns its name from the way fighters shift their weight onto the front leg and flex the back leg, creating a small leap to propel the punch. Cus D'Amato initially taught this technique to Floyd Patterson, who then passed it on to Tyson. Attacking the body is a core tactic in boxing, offering both physical and mental benefits. By systematically wearing down an opponent, it opens the door for targeted headshots and creates a cumulative impact that can significantly influence the fight's outcome. Boxers who adeptly focus on body shots can dictate the rhythm of the bout, drive their opponent into a defensive stance, and exploit the opportunities that arise from their opponent's discomfort and exhaustion. They might also secure a decisive victory with a perfectly aimed liver shot, which can deliver excruciating pain and potentially knock their opponent down, causing temporary paralysis from the shock to the nervous system. This was famously demonstrated by Ryan Garcia in his fight against Luke Campbell in 2021.
Or do you think Mike, because of Mike's body of work, his experience, that like he shouldn't be losing a fight like that?
But the thing is you don't get in these things if you don't believe you can win. I'm saying that's my whole thing. I ain't never fought when I ain't think I can win. Every time I ever got in the ring, I thought I was gonna win. I'm like, I'm gonna give my all. I'm like, so the whole big thing is that's the whole process.
Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.